champignons. Ja, Mensch.
Sorry. You all alright? Let it all down.
Go up to a metre high.
1 metre. No way.
Yeah, they do. Look, it says it on the bottom.
I'll do that.
Look, all of that.
Maximum height 960 millimetres. How many millimetres in a metre?
No. So
1,000.
there's no crutches, it says 1 metre.
That's alright, got work.
But you still have 4 minutes.
1 minute. Good morning. Who knows what day it is? It is Saturday. And Saturday is story time day. Let's do the story time shake. Are we ready? Story time, story time. shake a story time. Story time. Story time. Shake a story time. Good morning, Zach and Abigail. Good morning, Sophia. How lovely to see you all. It is Saturday. Do you remember back in the day? Back in my day, children, at 10 o'clock on a Saturday, I would be picking my story to read to you at the library. I would be hastily running around in the craft area thinking, I don't know what to do. And then thinking, oh, I hope Sophia doesn't turn up today. She's a rotter. I would never think that. I never would think that. Do you know how much I miss you all so very, 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 very much? I very, very much do. I really miss seeing all your faces. I really miss cuddling you. I miss giving you big kisses and cuddles and just having our story time sessions face to face. But these things, they're really helpful. I miss you all. I really do. Thank you, Christina. But hey, do you know what? This gives me something to do and something to look forward to. And that's pretty much all we need in life, isn't it? So we will see each other again very soon. But for now, let's continue our twice daily story times with our Dirty Beasts poems. Now, do you remember? We learnt about Crocky Wock the crocodile, didn't we? And then we read about the lion. He didn't have a name, he was just called the Lion. Now, we've yet to learn about this character. What do you think he looks like? It's a tricky one, that one. Mr. Snake Nose. That looks like an aardvark, doesn't it? And we've got a great big giant toad. Ribbit. So, before we continue our next poem, let's put on our listening ears. Ow. Hold out your hands. Hold out your hands. Give your fingers a wiggle. Listening ears. Clamp them on the side of your head. Screw them on tight. Now open them up. Now we can hear everything. And let's hear what other dirty beasts we're going to read about today. Today's first poem is called The Anteater. Now look at this boy. What do you know about this little boy here? I think he's got a few too many toys there. Maybe he's a bit spoiled. Are we ready? The Anteater. Some wealthy folks from USA who lived near San Francisco Bay possessed an only child called Roy. A plump and unattractive boy, half-baked, half-witted, and half-boiled, but worst of all, most dreadfully spoiled. Whatever Roy desired each day. I'm going to read it like this. Whatever Roy desired each day, his father bought him right away. Toy motor cars, electric trains, the latest model aeroplanes, a colour television set, a saxophone, a clarinet, expensive teddy bears that talked, and animals that walked and squawked. The house contained sufficient toys to thrill 500,000 boys. As well as this, young Roy would choose 2 pairs a week of brand new shoes. And now he stood there shouting, "What on earth is there I haven't got? How hard to think of something new. The choices are extremely few." Then added, as he scratched his ear, "Hold it, I have got a good idea. I think the next thing I must get should be a most peculiar pet, the kind that no one else has got. A giant anteater. Why not?" As soon as father heard the news, he quickly wrote to all the zoos. "Dear sirs," he said, "my dear keepers, do any of you have anteaters?" They answered by return of mail, "Our anteaters are not for sale." Undaunted, Roy's fond parent hurled more messages across the world. He said, "I'll pay you through the nose if you can get me one of those." At last he found an Indian gent who lived near Delhi in a tent, who said that he would sacrifice his pet for an enormous price. The price demanded, if you please, was 50,000 gold rupees. The anteater arrived, half dead. It looked at Roy and softly said,
I am famished. Do you think you could please give me just a little food? A crust of bread, a bit of meat. I haven't had a thing to eat. In all the time I was at sea, for nobody looked after me.
Roy shouted, No bread or meat. Go find some ants, they're what you eat. The starving creature crawled away. It searched the garden night and day. It hunted every inch of ground, but not one single ant it found.
Please give me food.
The creature cried, Go find an ant. The boy replied. It's like Ian McKellen, this, isn't it? No, Patrick Stewart. By chance, upon that very day, Roy's father's sister came to stay, a foul old hag of 83, whose name, it seems, was Dorothy. She said to Roy, Come, let us sit out in the sun and talk a bit. Roy said, I don't believe you've met my new and most unusual pet. He pointed down amongst the stones where something lay, all skin and bones. Anteater, he yelled. Don't lie there yawning. This is my aunt. Come say good morning. Now, some people in the USA have trouble with the words they say. However hard they try, they can't pronounce a simple word like aunt. Instead of aunt, they call it aunt. Instead of can't, they call it can't. Roy yelled, Come here, you so-and-so. My aunt would like to say hello. Slowly, the creature raised its head.
Do you mean that's an ant?
It said. Of course, cried Roy. Aunt Dorothy. This ant is over 83. The creature smiled. Its tummy rumbled. It licked its starving lips and mumbled.
A giant ant. By gosh, a winner.
At last I'll get a decent dinner. No matter if it's 83, if that's an ant, then it's for me. Then taking very careful aim, there's Aunt Dorothy there, taking very careful aim, it pounced upon the startled dame. It grabbed her firmly by the hair and ate her up right then and there, murmuring as it chewed the feet,
The largest ant I'll ever eat.
Meanwhile, our hero Roy had sped in terror to the potting shed and tried to make himself obscure behind a pile of horse manure. Ugh. But Anteater came sneaking in already, much less thin, and said to Roy,
You little squirt. I think I'll have you for dessert.
The end. Do you know what? We'll do one more. That was fun, wasn't it? The Anteater. Now this one. This is about a very, very spiky animal. Very, very spiky animal indeed. It's called, not the hedgehog, the porcupine. I'm going to read this like Sir Ian McKellen.
It's Sunday. I shouted, hooray!
For that's... No, start again. The porcupine. Each Saturday, I shout hooray, for that's my pocket money day. Although it's clearly understood, I only get it when I'm good. This week, my parents had been told that I had been as good as gold. So after breakfast, 50p my generous father gave to me. Like lightning down the road I ran until I reached the sweet shop man. and bought the chocolates of my dreams, a great big bag of raspberry creams. There is a secret place, I know, where I quite often like to go. Behind the wood, behind some rocks, a super place for guzzling chocks. When I arrived, I quickly found a comfy-looking little mound. Quite clean and round and earthy brown, just right, I thought, for sitting down. Here I will sit all morning long, eat until my chocks are gone. I sat, I screamed, I jumped a foot. Would you believe that I had put my tender little rump of mine upon a giant porcupine? Oh my goodness me. My backside seemed to catch on fire. 100 red-hot bits of wire, 100 prickles sticking in and puncturing my precious skin. I ran for home, I shouted, "Mum, behold the prickles in my bum." But Mum, who always keeps her head, bent down to look, and then she said, "I personally am not about to try to pull those prickles out. I think a job like this requires the services of Mr. Myers." I shouted, "Not the dentist, no!" "Oh, Mum, why don't you have a go?" I begged her twice, I begged her thrice, but grown-ups never take advice. She said, "A dentist's very strong. He pulls things out the whole day long." She drove me quickly into town, and then they turned me upside down upon the awful dentist's chair, while 2 strong nurses held me there. Oh my stars, there we go, look. Enter the dreaded Mr. Myers, waving a massive pair of pliers.
This is, he cried with obvious glee, a new experience for me. Quite honestly, I can't pretend I've ever pulled things from this end.
He started pulling one by one and yelling,
"My oh my, what fun."
I shouted, "Help!" I shouted, "Ow!" He said,
"It's nearly over now. For heaven's sake, don't squirm about. Here goes, the last one's coming out."
The dentist pulled, and out it came, and then I heard the man exclaim,
"Now let us talk about the fees. That'll be 50 guineas, please."
My mother is a gutsy bird, and never one to mince a word. She cried, "By gosh, that's jolly steep." He answered,
"No, it's very cheap. My dear woman, can't you see? If it hadn't been for me, this child could go another year with prickles sticking in her ear."
So that was that. Oh, what a day and what a fuss. But by the way, I think I know why porcupines surround themselves with prickly spines. It is to stop some silly clown from squashing them by sitting down. Don't copy me. Don't be a twit. Be sure to look before you sit. Lovely, lovely, lovely. What a lovely story. No, we've got a good one for later on today. Now, how about we have a little bit of tea and a little bit of musicality. Has anyone got a song they'd like to sing? Are we ready? Let's row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Rock this time, you got it, Abigail. Rock, rock, rock your boat gently to the shore. And if you see a lion, don't forget to roar. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. And if you see a crocodile, don't forget to scream. Row, row, row your boat gently down the river. If you see a polar bear, groovy jellyfish. Here we go. Row, row, row your boat gently down the lake. And if you see the groovy jellyfish, don't forget to shake, 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 shake. Uh-oh, the big bad octopus, let's row, row, row away. Row, row, row your boat to the ocean wide. And if you see the big bad octopus, don't forget to hide. Excellent rowing. Excellent rowing. So, no apologies, Vicky. There's no late to the party. You can always check this out on Facebook Live every day or on YouTube straight after if you've missed the story. We're doing poetry though this week, so it's excellent poetry. Okay, it's the Incy Wincy Spider time for Abigail. Are we ready? Incy Wincy Spider climbed up the water spout. Morning cracks, down came the rain. Now wash the spider out. Out came the sunshine and dried up all the rain. The Incy Wincy Spider climbed up the spout again. The spider climbed up the water spout. Down came the rain and washed the spider out. Out came the sunshine and dried up all the rain. And the Incy Wincy Spider climbed up the spout again. Good spidering. Well done. Very, very good. That's what I like to see. Very, very good spidering. How about we do 5 little ducks? 5 little ducks went swimming one day over the hills and far away. Mama duck said, quack, 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 quack. Only 4 little ducks came back. 4 little ducks went swimming one day over the hills and far away. Mama duck said, quack, 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 quack. Only 3 little ducks came back. 3 little ducks went swimming one day over the hills and far away. Mama duck said, quack, 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 quack. Only 2 little ducks came back. 2 little ducks went swimming one day over the hills and far away. Mama duck said, quack, 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 quack. Only 1 little duck came back. 1 little duck went swimming one day over the hills and far away. Mama duck said, quack, 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 quack. And all 5 ducks came swimming back. Excellent duckling,s. Excellent ducking around. Now, everyone be crocodiles. Snap, snap. Snap, snap. Good. Good crocodiles. Snappity snap. Very good. Now, never smile at a crocodile. No, you can't get friendly with the crocodile. Don't be taken in by his welcome grin. He's imagining how well you'll fit within his skin. Never smile at a crocodile. Never cross the road and stop to talk a while. Never run, walk away, say good night, not good day. Run a mile and never smile at Mr. Crocodile. Snap, snap. Snap, snap. That was good. Good crocodiles. Shall we do it again? Never smile at a crocodile. No, you can't get friendly with a crocodile. Don't be taken in by his welcome grin. He's imagining how well you'll fit within his skin. Never smile at a crocodile. Never cross the road and stop to talk a while. Never run, walk away. Say good night, not good day. Run a mile and never smile at Mr. Crocodile. Snap, snap. Good crocodiling. I was very frightened then. There's some extra crocodile, excuse me. Now, everybody find their heads, their shoulders, knees, toes. Are we ready? Are we steady? Are we ready? Here we go. Heads, shoulders, knees and toes. Knees and toes. Heads, shoulders, knees and toes. Knees and toes and eyes and ears and mouth and nose. Heads, shoulders, knees and toes. Knees and toes. Heads, shoulders, knees and toes. Knees and toes. Heads, shoulders, knees and toes. Knees and toes and eyes and ears and mouth and nose. Heads, shoulders, knees and toes. Knees and toes. Toes, knees, shoulders and heads, shoulders and heads, toes, knees and shoulders and heads, shoulders and heads, and nose and mouth and ears and eyes, toes, knees and shoulders and heads, shoulders and heads, toes, knees and shoulders and heads, shoulders and heads, toes, knees and shoulders and heads, shoulders and heads, and nose and mouth and ears and eyes, toes, knees and shoulders and heads, shoulders and heads. Excellent work. Well, here we go. We've got a request. We're going to have not one, not two, not three, not four, but 5 little speckled frogs. Little speckled frogs stacked on a speckled log, eating the most delicious grubs. Let's do it properly. There we go. 5 little speckled frogs sat on a speckled log, eating the most delicious grubs. Yum, yum. One jumped into the pool where it was nice and cool. Then there were 4 green speckled frogs. Nice and cool now. There were 3 green speckled frogs. Blip, blip. 3 little speckled frogs sat on a speckled log, eating the most delicious grubs. Yum, yum. One jumped into the pool where it was nice and cool. Then there were 2 green speckled frogs. Blip, blip. 2 little speckled frogs sat on a speckled log, eating the most delicious grubs. Yummy, yummy, yum. One jumped into the pool where it was nice and cool. Then there was 1 green speckled frog. Bloop, bloop. 1 little speckled frog sat on a speckled log, eating the most delicious grubs. Yum, yum. We jumped into the pool where it was nice and cool. Now there are no green speckled frogs. Well done, everyone. Excellent green speckled frogs. I'll tell you what, we've had 5 little ducks, 5 green speckled frogs, little speckled frogs, 5 little speckled frogs. Why don't we have 5 cheeky monkeys as well? Let's get the full set. Ready to do some jumping and some phoning for the doctor. Jumping on a bed, one fell off and I bumped his head. The mummy phoned the doctor and the doctor said, no more monkeys jumping on the bed. 4 cheeky monkeys jumping on a bed, one fell off and I bumped his head. The mummy phoned the doctor and the doctor said, no more monkeys jumping on the bed. 3 cheeky monkeys jumping on a bed, one fell off and I bumped her head. The mummy phoned the doctor and the doctor said, no more monkeys jumping on the bed. 2 cheeky monkeys jumping on a bed, one fell off and I bumped her head. The mummy phoned the doctor and the doctor said, no more monkeys jumping on the bed. 1 cheeky monkey jumping on a bed, one fell off and I bumped his head. The mummy phoned the doctor and the doctor said, put these monkeys back into the bed. Very good, monkeys. Excellent jumping onto bed. Great. Now, I think if you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it and you really want to show it, if you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, stamp your feet. If you're happy and you know it, stamp your feet. If you're happy and you know it, you really want to show it. If you're happy and you know it, stamp your feet. If you're happy and you know it, nod your head. If you're happy and you know it, nod your head. If you're happy and you know it and you really want to show it, if you're happy and you know it, nod your head. If you're happy and you know it, touch your nose. If you're happy and you know it, touch your nose. If you're happy and you know it, you really want to show it. If you're happy and you know it, touch your nose. If you're happy and you know it, jump up and down. If you're happy and you know it, jump up and down. If you're happy and you know it and you really want to show it, if you're happy and you know it, jump up and down. Here we go, now listen up, everybody. If you're happy and you know it, do a 5, clap your hands, stamp your feet, nod your head, touch your nose, jump up and down. If you're happy and you know it, do a 5, clap your hands, stamp your feet, nod your head, touch your nose, jump up and down. If you're happy and you know it, you really want to show it. If you're happy and you know it, do a 5, clap your hands, stamp your feet, nod your head, touch your nose, jump up and down, turn around, sit down, stand up, go to bed, wake up, kiss your mum, kiss your dad, huggy grand, go to bed. Wake up. Good morning. Very good, excellent. Now, how about we do the hokey cokey karaoke, okie dokie, it's no jokey, mind your eye doesn't get pokey, don't swallow something you might chokey, don't be a dopey, don't lose the remote tea. I'm struggling. steady. Are we ready? Go find a teddy. Here we go. Put your favorite arm in, your favorite arm out. Out, in, out. Shake your arm about. You do the hokey cokey and you turn around. 'Cause that's what it's all about. Are we ready now? Whoa, hokey cokey. Whoa, hokey cokey. Whoa, hokey cokey. Knees and the knees bend, arms stretched. Rah, rah, rah. Put your favorite leg in, your favorite leg out. In, out, in, out. You shake your leg about. You do the hokey cokey. You turn around, 'cause that's what it's all about. Are we ready now? Whoa, hokey cokey. Whoa, hokey cokey. Whoa, hokey cokey. Knees bent, arms stretched. Rah, rah, rah. Put your whole self in, your whole self out. In, out, shake yourself about. You do the hokey cokey and you turn around, 'cause that's what it's all about. Are we ready now? Whoa, hokey cokey. Whoa, hokey cokey. Whoa, hokey cokey with the knees now. Knees bent, arms stretched. Rah, rah, rah. Very good. Thank you so much for coming to story time this morning. We'll be back again at 2. Anyone who might like this, please get your mummies and daddies who are listening to send it to them. Send them the links. Send them my Facebook to become friends. There's lots of these piling up now. If you need one to just put on in the day to keep your little ones just entertained for a little bit, if that's what you need. And if you don't need it, they're there anyway for anyone who might need it. Thank you so much for joining in. Thank you for your singing and your dancing and your jumping about. I'm going to be putting some original content on Patreon soon. We'll be doing original songs, some original stories there too. So do check that out once I've got that up and running. So let's get our goodbye hands ready. Melissa, my darling, you've tuned in just at the end. Never mind, you can watch this on YouTube in a few minutes. All right, we did some great poetry today. Get our goodbye hands ready. Goodbye, it's time to go. Are we ready here? Goodbye, everyone, it's time to go. Goodbye, everyone, it's time to go. I told you goodbye, everyone, it's time to go. We'll see you again next time. Goodbye, everybody. Thank you for joining in. Thank you for tuning in. We'll be back again at 2 o'clock today. Take care. Bye-bye. Thank you.